Hi guys, I'm Dr. Inky.
Hi, and I'm Dr. Ali. Welcome
Yeah,
to our Two
well,
Dog Show.
yeah. Welcome back to Two Dogs. Even though the previous week was one dog, now we are back.
Nah,
Now no more one hand clap already. Now
we're
it's two
gonna we're
hands
gonna we're
clapping
gonna
all,
we're gonna
all over
punish
again.
you one of these days. You're gonna solo it out by yourself, and I will be a
Uh,
participant and smile at you.
can no problem. Hey, you didn't do too badly by yourself, lah. Not too
So
bad. So
surprisingly, I had a couple of people who asked me to do a second run with you to talk about the same thing, but now they want to hear your perspective on how you save
can
money. Yeah.
can. I think we can do that for the next round. I think saving money tips. I think it is timeless. You can do it time and time again. I think you
Correct.
can cover it all the time because
Yeah,
there are
even
different. There are always different ways to save money.
yes, and even if
Yeah.
it's one situation, two-person can see it differently.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
All right. So money saving tips aside. So what is the topic for this week?
So as we promised, we are going to be talking about something really hot. This current situation, probably it's
Yeah,
died
man.
down a little bit, but cyberbullying,
But it's still there,
is
it's still there.
timeless. It's timeless.
Yeah.
So this week is about cyberbullying.
Yeah. So lately I think in the news
Yeah.
there was a deputy minister which kind of cyberbullied or shamed a 18-year-old girl
Mm-hmm.
for apparently wanting attention.
Correct.
And then
Correct.
he kind of shamed her on national TV, and he brought it up in Parliament. Nevertheless,
Yes,
it's
nevertheless.
it's basically a major stage, and then he just he said that whatever she did, whatever she mentioned was not correct.
Correct.
However, and the funny thing was, they found that the girl did sit for her exam.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
then you wonder, right? Who's actually trying to seek for attention?
Exactly.
Yeah, who's trying to seek for attention? But
Exactly.
that aside, but that was the prescient of what brought about this topic, and I think it's gonna drag on like an hour or so that we're gonna be talking about cyberbullying.
Yep.
Hopefully, we don't bully anyone in the process.
well, cyberbullying is actually very common, and actually a lot of us might be doing it without even knowing that we're cyberbullying somebody.
Correct. There's a lot of it that's unconscious, and a lot of it falls between. It's a joke.
Yes, exactly. So a lot of times yes, a lot of times. Yeah, I mean, even if it's in person, let's say even if it's both of us, a lot of times when we meet up, we go for drinks, there is banter back and forth.
Yes.
Right. And we understand that it's banter back and forth because of the intonation, the way we speak, our body language, and we understand that there is actually jokes.
Correct.
However, or if you remove the body language, you remove the intonation, and it's purely text.
Correct.
You imagine I can say, Ellie, you have gained weight. So probably on my end, it's just a passing comment, but you might take it wrongly. You might say, you know what, this person is body shaming me.
Yes.
And then because you didn't experience the intonation or my body language, you might take it wrongly.
Yep. So that is quite dangerous because as you said, that text means nothing without the intonation. And worse off, there will be some people who accidentally left the capital lock on.
Oh yeah.
And everything is in like big words, big letters,
caps, right?
Caps on. So even if you say "yeah right," becomes "yeah right." That kind of
exactly.
That perceived intonation is amazing. So, I think that's something that starts off as the wrong perception into thinking that it is cyberbullying.
But however, cyberbullying a lot of times it's based on the recipient's mindset or how the recipient perceive the message.
Correct. That one I think would just be the beginnings of someone who starts to feel that. But let's start off with the ones whereby it's out of their control first, whereby it is literally bullying. And this can be anything from posting about rumors, which is very common. You know, you create
Yes.
rumors which are not there. You create threats, or even if it's a passing remark on someone's post, as what you said. You know, someone take a picture of themselves. The intention was, you know, to share what they're doing, but the end result was someone says, "You look like you've put on some weight, huh?"
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. One of the I would say among all the so-called social media and all, I think one of the platforms which is pretty notorious for cyberbullying is actually YouTube. If you go online, right, and you look at YouTube comments, you will notice that majority of the comments are not nice comments. There are people just cursing, people saying bad stuff about what you posted online, about people disagreeing with you, but they don't disagree in a debatable way. They kind of disagree in a more like a pompous way. You know, it's like my point of view is correct and your point of view is wrong. So YouTube is actually notorious for that. You know, they have a lot of horrible comments. So you can actually go on any random channel, right? Click on any random video, and once you just scroll through the comments, you'll notice that majority of the comments are actually nasty comments compared to nice comments.
Wow. And I thought Instagram and Twitter would have been bad enough.
No. Those are still all right. Just that somehow the community on YouTube, they are a little bit nasty.
But I could probably see why. You know, somebody wants to put the YouTuber down, so they stop making videos. Because on YouTube, you monetize it almost automatically.
True.
Well, it's like on Instagram, Facebook and Instagram is not going to pay you for anything.
True. But the thing is, why would someone do that? Why, in your point of view, why would someone put down other people?
All right. Let's just talk about in this aspect of YouTube. All right. So YouTube, let's say Ryan's toy review.
Yeah.
He's the richest YouTuber.
Oh yeah, man.
Alive right now. He makes more money than anyone reviewing toys
in our lifetime. You make more money than both of us combined in our lifetime.
He makes me feel dumb for doing what I do when I could just open up a toy and go, you know, I'm opening up the wrapper now, and this wrapper is made from foil.
Exactly.
It's got 20 colors.
Yeah.
It's using an Arial type font.
Yeah.
You see, when he does that and people watch, and YouTube rewards that kind of behavior of people watching, I think that's all right. That's their economy of it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But then people on YouTube, if you said they are the ones who are shaming someone else, then I would think the harder I shame you, the more you probably don't want to post, especially if you're the up and coming ones. If you're like Ryan,
maybe
he couldn't care less. He's like, I'm making the money. You can say what you want. But if someone new is coming up and let's say there's a new one, Inky's toy review. Don't be surprised Ryan will come and bash you. Or people under Ryan's community who's, you know, enjoying his 100 million USD per year income would say, this bugger from Malaysia is trying to beat me in the game, and he's gotten Indonesian people to watch me. He's gotten Thai people to watch me, and Vietnamese people, and he speaks Chinese, and now the Chinese people are watching him too. And he's dropping in rankings. And at one point, someone was going to come and bash you. I would see that as, you know, commercial cyberbullying.
Yeah. I mean, you're totally right. Then there are probably fans of like Ryan's toy review. You know, they're diehard fans who would support their creator or their YouTube channel no matter what. And then
before we go any further, right? Okay. Ryan, if by some chance you're listening to this, we mean you no harm. This is purely for conversation.
This is just purely for example.
It's a theoretical thing. We are talking about cyberbullying, so nothing to do with you. Disclaimer done.
We're not cyberbullying you. So there might be followers or fans, right, who would then also, you know, fear that their idol is being dethroned. So they will also, you know, they'll come in a collective, and then they will try and cyberbully someone or try and harass someone from doing it.
Yeah. So I think that those are YouTube, and I can see why YouTube, because of that monetization front, and you want to bash someone so that they don't earn money. But when we talk about lifestyle, then we move towards like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whereby you're not really monetizing from your posts as much. Apart from you get your followers and stuff, but majority of the people are doing it as a lifestyle thing. And this is where bullying gets serious. It becomes personal to the point whereby the person who's bullying is not going to get any monetary gain out of it. It's purely out of malice and some intention to hurt or to cause shame, I think.
Yep. So I've been involved in the online scene for many years. So I've been involved with games, with online games for, I think, ever since I was the age of 17, 18. So roughly about 12 years ago. Is it 12? No, more than that, man. 20 over years ago.
Wow.
So roughly about 21 years ago. So roughly about 21 years ago, I was involved in a major online gaming community. There are roughly about a couple 100,000 players. Wow. So yeah. So but back then, of course, there were no there were no social media. So everything was posted on forum boards.
Okay.
So everything was posted on forum boards. So, but the amount of cyberbullying on the forum boards itself is actually tremendous. You know, people will badmouth one another, people will bash one another, people will curse one another, and these are just regular people. You know, some of them are students, some of them are working adults, and I always feel that it's easy, you know, to type something mean and just post it and feel good about yourself. You say, I've done my part, you know, I've already told the person off, and you actually feel good about yourself. And a lot of times, right, it's a way of de-stressing or releasing stress. You might have a bad day at work, you might have a bad day at school, you might have argued with your loved ones, you might have done something wrong, you might have gone in an accident now, and you just want to release that particular stress or anger, and then you want to pass it on to someone else. Yeah, and sometimes
take the bad chi and send it to someone else. Now it's your problem.
So a lot of times you just type it and you post and you say, you know what, it does me no harm. You know, they do not know who I am. I'm probably like hundreds of miles away from them, so I'm just gonna post it. And then I don't really care. I wouldn't come back to the same forum and read it ever again.
Or I'll just change my name.
I'll just change my name. But however, it then passes the anger or the feeling of being hurt onto someone else.
But let's tell. I mean, I think viewers should know, or our listeners should know, that cyberbullying is just another way of bullying. Inky, you and myself, before the days of all this technology, back in school, we were physically, verbally bullied. So everyone will go through it. But I think the biggest difference is that if you and I were bullied in school, it stays in school.
Yeah, of course.
Once you get on the bus and you come home, you don't see the guy's face. You may think about it, but it doesn't come into your face anymore.
And then it does take it's not easy to actually bully someone. It takes a little bit of courage. And I'm not saying that I'm encouraging bullies, but to be physically standing in front of someone to actually say mean things to someone else actually requires some form of, I would say, a mild confidence or courage, right?
Yeah, courage.
However, most people, when brought up properly, they know that this is not something acceptable. It's not an acceptable behavior to actually approach someone and then shout mean things to them.
Correct.
However, with internet and with anonymity, it's much easier.
Yes. Anyone can create a profile.
Anyone can do it. Yes.
You create
anyone can do it.
And you didn't say it, you know. I didn't insult you yesterday, Inky. It was John Stark. Who happened to look a bit like me, but I changed the face, you know. That kind of
you'd be surprised. A lot of them actually hide behind certain random photos or avatars, and then even some people would just create an artificial or a secondary email just to register a particular profile to cyberbully someone else.
Right. So it's become so easy to bully people as opposed to before. Because back then, you have to have guts, as you said. You have to actually take the first step. Even if you want to start a rumor, you have to whisper to someone else. They know it's you who started it.
Mhm.
Whereas now, total anonymity. You could
Yes.
just post it in any forum, post it anywhere, and you could be someone else. You have no repercussion until a report has been made and MCMC starts to trace it all the
Yeah.
way back to you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a research done in the States because I think statistics wise, state in US they actually have the best stats. So they actually polled I think roughly about 15 or 20,000 teenagers,
Mhm.
and they actually discovered that roughly 25%
Mhm.
of all teenagers in the
Mhm.
States have been
Mhm.
cyberbullied
Mm.
one form or another. So,
Mhm.
but these are just poll stats, and then these are just teenagers. Oh, how about adults?
Mm.
How about people in colleges? They didn't poll them. And one of the statistics, which again, I'm a nerd for stats, and one of the very very amazing stats that I actually saw:
Mhm.
body shaming,
Mm.
women being body shamed.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know that 80% of the comments
Mhm.
actually come from other women?
Yep. I am not surprised for body shaming. Body
Body
shaming.
shaming.
Correct.
Body shaming, man.
Yes.
And I'm surprised. I always thought that when people body shame someone else, it's like calling them fat, And a lot of times I assume it's from the opposite gender. But
No.
80% actually comes from the same
Same
gender.
gender, and it's not necessarily fat. It could be anything.
Yeah.
As
Can
oh,
be anything.
you've got unibrows.
Yes.
Oh,
Your squinty eyes, small flat nose, everything.
your nose happens. Your nostrils can be seen.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. So 80 they discovered that harassment, like sexual harassment, yes, roughly about 55% actually comes from guys. Being targeted at women. So only 55% of so-called sexual harassment comments come from guys. It means 45% actually comes from other women.
Actually, no, I don't think that's really true.
Okay, I have no idea.
What I believe is 55% is a guy harassing a woman.
Yeah,
But there are another percentage of a guy harassing another guy.
maybe you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Then only the remaining will be the women harassing women, guys, or women harassing women, that kind of thing. But because there's another stats that I read up. This is ASEAN stats, and I'm very happy to hear what you said about the US one, because Malaysia did not fare too far away from the stats. Within this was they polled about, I think, about 50 countries. Malaysia came up number 8. We are very high. We are very high on cyberbullying. 1 in 5 youth is being bullied or has gone through a significant cyberbullying occurrence.
Okay.
And if you are LGBT community, you are more than 50% chance higher compared to someone else, compared to being bullied, because not only you get bullied within your own community, but the non-LGBT also will be putting you down, so to speak. So I think, as what Dr. Lavanya and Adam was telling us last time, they do get bullied a lot more, especially even in the cybersphere.
Yeah. So cyberbullying is actually very, very big. Even and under cyberbullying, there is actually another portion of it which is also pretty rampant, but people don't really talk about it, which is called cyber stalking.
Yes.
So cyber stalking means that you are stalking someone. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you're doing it without commenting or without any passing comments, it's fine. You just look at someone's photos and all. Maybe you idolize that particular person, but to the point whereby you make comments like, oh yeah, I've seen you here and there, yeah, I saw you the other day, you were wearing this particular shirt or this particular pants. And this actually happened to a friend of mine.
Oh wow. Okay.
So she is a very big fitness enthusiast.
All right.
And she loves yoga. So she posts photos of her doing yoga all the time. And yoga clothing are usually quite tight. So you have a lot of guys, and she's good looking. So you have a lot of guys making passing comments at her, and she understood that is part and parcel of being a so-called a fitness influencer. But the one time that she got freaked out, and she actually, after that, she made her profile private and she actually stopped posting a lot of stuff, was when she was waiting for an LRT.
Okay.
Right? She was waiting for a train, and a guy came up to her and said, "Hi, you must be so and so from
Mm.
this this social media,
Mhm.
and say I've been following you,
Mhm.
for a while. I mean,
Mhm.
that probably is a compliment.
All right.
But however, she said the one that creeped out was, and he said, I've seen you here. I've seen you waiting in this train station many times,
Mm.
and I stood here today
Mm. To wait
waiting
for
for
you.
you to appear.
Wow.
And thank God the train arrived in time. She got on the train and she sat among,
Other people.
among a big crowd.
Mm.
And from then on, she
No more
never
train.
posted no more trains. Never mind. She stopped posting stuff online. She really took it off. So for her, that was her incident of being stalked.
Yeah. And but here comes the fine line. Okay, so this fine line is always being drawn by men who do this kind. I'm not condoning their behavior. I think it's just freaky that someone would want to come up to you and say the kind of things that he just said.
Yeah.
I think it's highly inappropriate.
Yeah.
As it is to say that to anyone. Imagine, even if I did that to you, Inky, and we're good friends. Imagine if I did that to you, and I said, I've been waiting at this Chendo store just for you because I know you'll be coming, and this is the thing that you always have with no kacang, and I even reserve a seat next to me.
Oh,
You will freak out.
I'll freak out.
I mean, we're friends, but you will freak out if I did that to you. You'll be like, whoa, a bit too close, that kind of thing. So imagine that's us. And this is a total stranger.
Yeah, this total stranger.
Your friend, in her quest to be an influencer, to help promote fitness, there's this freaky guy who comes up and says the kind of things he did. I mean, in a way, it was nice that he did not add on that, whatever he did.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, because that would have been even more freaky. That he says, you are my idol from day to night, especially the nights on my lonely days, on my rainy
I think
days,
of you
in the office. I can't stop thinking of you, and that's why I'm here waiting for you today. Can we take a selfie? Oh my God, that will freak me out. Also, if anyone did that to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so coming back, here's the thing: that when these people do this kind of things, then their excuse is always, but you wanted to be famous anyway, so that's why you put it and you made it a public profile. I didn't ask you to wear a yoga pants or anything, and you wore it. And if I idolize you, it's part and parcel of you being a public persona. It's kind of like how celebrities are also, and when the paparazzis come chasing and hounding you, I think that's where the fine line is. Very hard to draw.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do agree with that. If that particular portion, if you really want to be a public figure, you have to be ready for the positive and the negative backlash. All right, it is a part and parcel of life.
Yeah, there's no, you can have your cake and eat it at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
So it will come with that kind of repercussion.
Yes,
that will come with the repercussion. I'll tell you after we did the gay posting, the gay posting.
there was a you were always
I have a surge of followers.
Well, you were always very charming. Hence, that's why
it's not the charming bit.
No. I mean, it's I would say it's something you take it as something positive.
Thanks for telling me
that people want to follow you. Whether it's for your looks, whether it's for your demeanor, whether it's for your mannerism, or the contents they are putting up. Yeah,
it's fine. I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, until the point where someone stalks you.
There's a bit of cyber stalking. I've been sent inappropriate photos by guys.
Okay, then that one, yes, and that one is cyberbullying.
It's cyberbullying.
It's really harassment. Yes.
Yeah, but again, as you said, it's part and parcel of trying to be out there to be a sort of like public figure, putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of how you want to take it. I take it very lightheartedly. I'm like, in a way, it's flattering, but in a way, it's inappropriate. But I'm not there to go and bash and screenshot, and then some people would do that. They will screenshot and say, "Wow, you want to show me all this? Is it? Now let me show you the whole world how you look like."
Well, that would be freaky, lah. That would be freaky.
Yeah, but that's also cyberbullying, is well.
Yeah, it is.
When the bully bullies you, and you
Yes.
bully them back just as bad.
Yeah. It is.
And
It is.
and no two wrongs don't make one right. It's not maths whereby negative plus negative
Negative,
equals
negative,
positive.
positive, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't work that way. This is exponential. Negative is even more negative. It just creates a wall out there. So yeah. So quick reminder, this is Dr. Inky, myself, Dr. Ellie, we're the two dogs, and we're talking about cyberbullying. We're going to just cut right now, just a short while, just to say that if you are being cyberbullied, don't go out and bully back your bullies. It doesn't make you a better
Yes.
person. You have to know how to handle it, which we will probably talk about it a little bit later, maybe a bit later in the segment.
Yeah. And also, if you're cyberbullied and there's no one for you to turn to, there's actually a lot of help that you can actually get. You can actually call Befrienders. Befrienders, they have a 24-hour hotline. I'm not sure whether it's 24 hours now, but it used to be a 24-hour hotline whereby you can call up and you can speak to them, and they actually can direct you to someone that can actually help you out.
Yep.
So a lot of people being cyberbullied.
They don't know where to go. That's the thing.
They don't know where to go.
Don't know where to go. So so they end up suffering in silence. And I think this is very important that we need to address that. If you are being cyberbullied, don't take it lying down. Don't take it as dah jadilah kenalah buat macam ni, and then just accept it with your arms wide open or your arms crossed, but you're feeling sorry for yourself. Most people feel sorry for themselves, and therefore cyberbullying then goes out of hand, and that's what happens with a lot of this. We hear now a lot of Korean stars.
It goes on to the point whereby they take their own lives. They can't take it anymore, and then for those who are mentally resilient, they can just ignore it, or maybe at maximum just deactivate their social media accounts. But of course, there are a lot of people who have underlying issues, underlying depression, or have been cyberbullied. So have been cyberbullied so long that they start doing self-harm. They start cutting themselves. They start starving themselves, or to the point whereby they actually take their own lives.
Correct. So I think a lot of our listeners out there, you would know some of these movie stars, especially the Korean ones, very rampant these days. I think 2 or 3 in a year, just from Korea alone, and these are the more famous ones. We're not talking about those sub-famous ones.
Exactly.
The more famous. I think the one that recently from the girl band Kara, I think. So one took her life, and then now the other one is self-harming. Another member within the group is self-harming because they do have some underlying depression.
Some form of that's right.
And yet people are still bullying them non-stop.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's perfect. So if the bullying people want to bully you, well, you have to take it as flattering that there's 24 hours, but yet they want to spend so much time to scrutinize everything you do.
Exactly.
And you were worth their time. You were worth their time to be commented upon. So look at it in a sort of like positive way.
That's right.
That you somehow influence their life enough to look at you.
Yes, exactly. So the way I actually look at it is actually the same way which you actually mentioned, that someone actually took time off, right? Took a minute or 5 minutes of their time to think of something nasty to say to me, and then type it out, right? And then after that, post it up. So basically, they cared so much that they actually took time off their own private lives to actually talk to you or comment on
something that you did.
It's something which you did.
Correct. As much as you put effort into dressing up, and they commented that you didn't dress nice, they took time to actually analyze and to make a comparison. In fact, sometimes I don't think you want to engage in conversation with this kind of people anyway, but just take it as a stride that at least we gave them some purpose in life. I see it. I usually deal with cyberbullies wherever they are, as in like sometimes I feel that maybe they don't have much purpose in their life anymore. Maybe they're not doing well in their life or in their work or something, and this bullying trend is what they're good at, and they're really really good at it. So by allowing them to sort of like run their mouth, do their whole keyboard warrior thing, maybe that's what your purpose in this world is for, and just let them you're doing charity by allowing them to just go on, but you can just ignore them, you're not really that important.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So a lot of actually a lot of our public figure actually go through it. Even a couple of friends of mine who are movie stars and musicians as well.
Mhm.
Um, sometimes like they do dress the way they like to dress, which in some people's minds can be slightly provocative.
Mhm.
In my mind, for me it's perfectly normal,
Mhm.
because you are dressing how you want to dress. But of course there are a lot of people, a lot of netizens and a lot of keyboard warriors that would
Mhm.
put comments, and say, oh, you've dressed too short, you have do you, are you looking to be raped and stuff like that.
Yep.
And of course then later these people will then have to apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have dressed like that. But then again, you shouldn't need to apologize.
Right.
There's no need for you to apologize, because you're not breaking any rules,
Right.
right? And it's these people who are cyberbullying you.
Right.
And there's actually a law. I think in Malaysia also there is a law against cyberbullying.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you're found guilty of cyberbullying, you can do jail time, as long as it's reported to MCMC, and as well as a police report has been made. You can actually serve jail time. So even something as simple as a passing remark like, oh, your dress is too short, and I'm turned on by that, by looking at your photo. Even that itself, right, can actually land you in jail.
Correct. Because those are not deemed as socially normal responses that you would say to someone. For example, if the guy who said it has a daughter and the daughter dressed that way, would he have said it to her and say, to his own daughter, you dress like that, I will rape you as a father? If you are going to say that, there's something wrong with you up here.
Yes, exactly.
So if you're not going to say it to your own daughter who's going to dress like that, then it doesn't give you a right to say it to anyone else just because they're dressing up like that. So you're right. So I think what's the term that these politicians like to use when someone say something that they don't like, and they throw them into jail for it? Sedition.
Yeah, sedition, yes.
Sedition. So sedition, ladies and gentlemen, is not just for politicians, even though they use it like 24/7, 365, and every year, especially the last 5-6 years, everything's seditious, and throw you with ISA and whatever act they could find to throw you into jail. But sedition just basically means talking bad about someone with insufficient proof, or with the intent to actually causing permanent harm to someone's reputation or status or whatsoever. So if I say something bad to you, Inky, with the intent of harming your reputation, like saying that your fillers are horrible, you've created lumps whereby lumps should not be, and I've got no proof. I'm just saying for the sake of saying something.
Yes, exactly.
That is sedition. That is because I'm tarnishing your reputation without any proof. And even if you did create a lump, but you had acknowledged it and you already fixed it, I can't say it out and say, that's what he does. He does lumps for everyone. But I think that society, we've not come to that. Thankfully, in some way, we've not come to that stage whereby we're suing everyone for every single little thing they say. But it also doesn't give anyone the right to just run their mouth on it. Because another thing that is very dangerous about cyberbullying is the permanent damage that has been done. Like, for example, the kind of embarrassment that the Sabahan girl had to go through. And it's not like it was a passing remark in some insignificant news portal. It was in Parliament.
It was in Parliament, and it was covered by all the major media agencies all around Malaysia.
And it would have been typed out already into the minutes of the Parliament. Her name is recorded in history for being for trying to be a liar and to seek attention. So even if he apologized, they cannot delete what was already said.
Yes, exactly.
Damage has been done.
A lot of people think that just by apologizing, I'm sorry, I should have said that, but it's already been said. Damage has already been done. A mental scar has already formed. So it's impossible to remove that particular mental scar anymore. So apologizing wouldn't make things better. Yes, you can reconcile, but it doesn't make things. It doesn't make it go away. So probably next time, anyone that wants to cyberbully or try to make any comments, think twice, lah. think twice before saying it.
Some people say, what's the big deal? Already done, apologize. But let's put it in a very simple layperson perspective. Okay. For example, Dr. Inky bought a concert ticket to watch Coldplay in Singapore. And on that day that he's supposed to fly, I argue with him, and with not being happy with him, I puncture his tire. Now, the only damage I've done to him is to puncture his tire. But now he couldn't drive. He missed his flight. Not just missed the flight, because then I said, okay, I pay you for the flight. But now he missed his concert.
Yes.
I could say I can pay you for the concert, but it's not about that, because it's an opportunity. Coldplay is difficult to come try. So that's what it means. We all think that tarnishing was just a tire puncture. No, it's beyond that. I could just buy him a new tire, and that's what the minister did. I'm sorry in Parliament.
Yeah, and then also using that as a
political mileage after.
No, then after that, for me, I could have this phobia, that someone might puncture my tire at any time.
Right.
That whenever I drive, I'm afraid Ali would be,
somewhere around the corner
with
a bowl of chendol and a knife.
Exactly. So even though the incident was just a one-off thing, but there would be some repercussions that will follow me for days, months, or even years.
Right. Now, what's going to happen with the girl? Now, she still can't go back to uni. So you still need to do online learning.
Yep.
Now, if she's got horrible connection, who's she going to tell? She can't tell anyone. Because if she tells someone, she posts about it, it'll come back and say, see, you're an attention seeker.
Yeah.
It's unfair to her, because in her situation, in all fairness, if it was poor reception, it's poor reception. People really just run their mouth without thinking about the repercussion.
All the time lah. And not only ministers lah. I think everybody, day to day in your office, in school, even sometimes even to your own family as well. It happens. Even, and it's not only about all this Parliament, all this online stuff. Even a regular WhatsApp message. You can actually send a regular WhatsApp message, and you can comment on maybe a friend, an accomplice, or maybe an associate, or maybe a family member. You make a passing comment, and it might be, even if it's a private thing, is in then less damage done. But what if it's in a group, in a WhatsApp group?
Correct. Correct. You're right. Especially like in WhatsApp group, something as people don't realize it, but something as silly as in a group chat. Let's say we have a group of friends. We are peers. Let's say our doctor friends group chat, and I post something and say, "Hey, did you know that if you do this treatment, we can get this kind of result?" And someone just says, "Wow, like that also you don't know. I've been doing it for 10 years already."
Exactly.
Why are you so slow? And now, in his mind, maybe he was just, a little bit of bragginess. But the repercussion is, now I think I'm stupid. Now my whole group, I feel that my whole group thinks I'm stupid.
Fears that I'm stupid, yep.
And from now on,
I'm not going to put anything up. Yeah.
I feel very small. I'm not going to put anything up. I may be ultra quiet. You type whatever you want in the group. I do not want to participate anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly.
And it will bring out into the real world, whereby when I meet him, I'm like, I don't really like you anymore.
Yep.
So we have to be very careful. Everyone who's out there, if you're listening in, just be very careful what you say on group chats, especially. You may think it's just a passing remark, but you have to kind of like think: is it really appropriate? Is it needed? Is it called for? If it's not called for, well, be quiet. I guess. As the saying goes, if you got nothing good to say, better be quiet. Don't say anything.
That's right.
Yeah. If you really want to say something, then private message.
That's true.
And say, hey, this is not really new, or is there something new that you did, or this is what I've been doing the last couple of years. Is it the same? If it's the same, then okay, well, this protocols has been around for a while. You can brag each other, and he hates you directly, but at least it's direct. You don't need to shame him in front of everyone and say, wow, you're so slow.
So the stat which you quoted, Malaysia is actually top 10 in cyberbullying. We are number 6.
6 now.
As of Yeah, number 6 as of 2018. We are number 6. And then cyberbullying in Malaysia. Say though many Malaysians don't actually realize that what they're doing is considered cyberbullying. What they do is they comment on people's physical attributes, especially celebrities and online personalities. And then at the same time, of other general or political differences. You know, simple things even something like, commenting on political differences. Sometimes it can de-evolve right into just shouting matches, or just calling people names. And then this is also a form of cyberbullying.
Yep. I think that's one of Malaysians' favorite pastime, which is actually just to go and comment. Literally, that saying does not work anymore. If you've got nothing good to say, don't say anything. Now it's like I've got a lot of good things to say about nothing good.
If you have nothing nice to type, don't type basically.
I'm not sure. Maybe in their minds, I'm doing social justice.
Maybe
they have to put someone in their right place. Maybe whoever who posts something like, you think you're high up there, actually you're not. Okay, let me tell you what it really is. That kind of mentality. We have to see it from their point of view. Maybe they were trying to do some social justice, but it came out all wrong with words that didn't sound too good. But by and large, I think, again, between that, if you're going to do that slight bragging or you want to correct someone in a nice way, that I'm not saying it's fine, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Try to cut down a bit about it. But I think don't go all out and be evil. Don't go all out with the intention to harm.
But majority of the cyberbullying, people don't think that they're actually doing it. People don't actually think they're actually cyberbullying. I mean, I've seen it tons of times, even in my family WhatsApp group. Not immediate family, but the extended family. People be passing, making remarks on certain people's photos, and these are actually cyberbullying. And you can actually see the mental effects or the detrimental effects after that. As example, my wife's family's WhatsApp group. Some certain aunties said something about certain things. You can see that my wife will be generally very upset after that. And then and she might be upset for a day. And then when she's upset, and then she would and then things don't go her way, then it will then affect people around her, affect me, affect the kids, and then there are a lot of ripples that actually happen.
Yes,
due to cyberbullying.
Yes, the ripples are usually as what they said. When it comes to this cyberbullying, people don't see. The person who says it they don't see the immediate reaction, they don't see the delayed reaction. And at least your wife shows the unhappiness to you. Imagine if she had kept to herself and she was just don't want to eat, no mood, can't sleep. You're sleeping away and she's like wide awake, cannot sleep, and after a few days her concentration is out. Cannot focus on the kids, cannot focus on the work. And these kind of things can show, and it does at the end of the day affect the overall mental, physical, emotional well-being of someone, and that can spiral really out of control. So I think what your wife is doing is good. Let it out. Let you have it a little bit. It's a blessing.
Well, a lot of times a lot of times, then you have to ask her to look from the other person's point of view. They probably didn't mean it. It's probably a comment from their side, or maybe they're so used to making all these passing comments that they don't realize that they're just causing harm all over. So I mean, you do know. I mean, I'm sure you know a lot of people. So I'm sure you have come across certain personalities who are so-called quote unquote toxic. It means that these people make people around them feel bad. It's just the things they say and the things it's just the way they are. And a lot of times these people don't actually
realize.
No, they actually don't realize that they're actually making the people around them feel uncomfortable.
Correct.
For them it's probably just a little bit jokes, a little bit of passing banter comments, and and they feel it's just all fun. Yeah, but however, people around them just turned off by it. They want to they keep the distance, and all of us know one or two people just like that.
Yep. These are the people that I like to say, oh, these are the auntie mouth. Whether they're guys or girls, I'm sorry about all the aunties out there, but this is what we call the old auntie tales, the old auntie mouth, whereby whatever you do is never right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
true. That's true.
You cook them a dish, you're too salty lah.
Yes, exactly. It's just simple things like that.
And then, simple things. You put in so much effort, and let's say you made a dish. It's a very elaborate dish. Not that easy to make. Then when you serve them, the first thing that came out from their mouth, it's so salty lah. I don't like it lah. You want to kill me, is it? Got high blood pressure later. It's salty, but then they go on and on and on. And they say, at the end of it, when someone says, you shouldn't say that. No lah, I only comment. I want them to improve. Don't make luckily it's me.
Constructive criticism.
Luckily it's me. If my neighbor eat, they'll die already,
Yeah. All of us know some aunt like that.
Right. So that auntie mouth is very dangerous. Although at the end of the day, they never feel that they were wrong to begin with.
Yeah.
It was their way of being constructive without realizing it leaves a war path behind them. They've destroyed so many people's feelings and confidence just because of too salty. So
if any of our listeners out there actually have families or friends who are like that, it's impossible to change people. So from experience, I will tell you, you can't change people. Correct. They are who they are, due to circumstances, due to their education, due to their upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that you can do is you can change yourself.
Correct.
So if you really do not want to be associated or to hang out with this kind of people, just don't hang out with them. Avoid them.
Avoid them.
If whatever they're saying is hurting you, it's causing you self-doubt, don't call them over for dinner the next time.
Yep. It's always the most difficult if they're your parents.
Oh yeah, that is true. Well, then,
but no choice. I'm sorry. That's the only one thing that rule doesn't apply. So, but beyond that, anyone else, yes.
True.
As what Dr. Inky says, you can choose to avoid them. You can choose to turn away, turn a blind eye, ignore, block, even silence them. What I do to people that annoys me is, short of deleting and blocking them, is I just silence the notification. So whatever they say is not important until I'm like got nothing else better to do, then I'll check. But otherwise, at least it doesn't affect you, that they are taking up that ding, that notification sound that says they are important and you need to pay attention to them. So we have to learn how to switch off. Yes. I think at this age whereby we are so-called emotionally supposed to be more intelligent, we are a bit much more complex in terms of structure and social socializing as compared to before. Before, there's a lot of physical. Now it's beyond physical. You need to have the intelligence of physical social contact, but you also must have the intelligence of non-physical social contact, the cyber contact. So, but don't forget that as much as this intelligence is there, and you have to be good at balancing it out, having an ounce of ignorance is blissful.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times, right? Just ignoring all this negative stuff. Actually, it works wonders.
It works wonders. There are days when I make fun of Dr. Inky and he just zones out and talks about something else. He just totally ignores me. He don't care.
I don't care. Yeah,
and that's how everyone should behave. When someone gets a bit overboard, just ignore them. And then people like me will realize, okay, I'm overboard. Let me come back down to earth. Stop disturbing him.
No, well, you see, right? End of the day, right? Bullying or cyberbullying will never go away. It's probably part of human nature. To want to be is to want to test one another, to want to feel a bit more superior to your fellow beings. I mean, bullying has been there for generations and millennia. It's just that now it has it has gone online. Now
Right.
that internet is it's part of our daily lives, it has gone online. So don't expect cyberbullying to disappear. Even with laws enacted and all,
Mm.
it will still be there. So
Correct.
the one thing you can train yourself to do, or train your family or your
Mm.
kids in the future to do, is to be ignorant.
Yep.
But of course, to when it comes to a point in time whereby it's too hurtful,
Mm-hmm.
then teach them to open up to other people.
Yes.
To look for help. Whether
Yes.
whether it's from friends,
Mm.
or if you want to call up Dr. Ali and just talk to him. Since he was supposed to be a psychiatrist, he was supposed to be a psychiatrist in his previous life. So you can always call Dr. Ali up and make an appointment with him and just talk to him lah. And
You
he'll be
have
all ears.
you have to call me, but you can text him.
Yeah. You can text me anytime. I will just ignore you.
See, very helpful.
Yes. Yeah. So it will not go away.
Mm.
So the only thing that you can do is you can train your mind to be ignorant and be resilient. That's the only thing you can do.
Correct. And at the end of it, don't forget, it's just the best thing about it is not physical, it's cyber.
Yeah.
You can shut down the account for a couple of days. You can even call that person out in a very classy way without having to resort to more verbal violence from yourself. Something even as simple as, let's say if you want a screenshot, you can screenshot and just say, is this the kind of appropriate answer that someone should talk to me? Is this how we talk to each other these days? Let other people go and bully this guy if you really want to. But at the end of it, what Inky says is right. You have to train yourself to be strong enough to be able to see them, because like it or not, if they don't bully you, someone else is going to bully you.
Yeah.
And if you can't take a virtual person who is bullying you with just merely words and text, he's not even coming in with a stick, he's not threatening your career, it's just mere words. Imagine how are you going to deal when it's real physical, your own life, when it comes to career, which is like, let's say, office bullying or employer bullying or employee bullying. That is even more difficult to handle because that's directly involved in your life, whereas this is just a cybersphere. So take it as a training ground, how to ignore these people so that you can actually move forward and be able to be more resilient, rather than keep feeling sorry for yourself, going into the shell. Have you had anyone close to you that got bullied so bad that apart from your friend that went through that really terrible train incident?
I actually, a long time ago, there was a high school acquaintance. He wasn't really a friend, wasn't really close to him, acquaintance. So of course back then, he was always very quiet in school. We could not understand why. Then of course after a while we actually understood why. Of course, he was with the LGBTQ community. He was gay, and of course at the time he wasn't open about it. But already in school, people were already bullying him. You have people passing comments like, you're very soft. You seem to be gay. So because of that, it has really affected his self-confidence, some sort. So long time ago, when Friendster was still the in social media thing, he kind of came out on social media, and of course. Back then, also on Friendster, you can comment on other people's photos. So he had a lot of comments, a lot of negative comments, and it came to a point where he couldn't take it anymore. He actually took his own life. He actually suicide. Yeah, he actually killed himself. He overdosed on some medication, and I think he was only at the age of like 20. So yeah, I mean, this was a point whereby likely there was really underlying depression from the years and years of bullying, and also probably the years of self-doubt. And the cyberbullying probably just tipped the scale and just made it much worse. Yeah. So things like it do happen.
Yes, things like this do happen. I think before we sign off, I think things that we just want to highlight to our listeners, things that you should not say. Because I mean, it's common when when we talk to each other. You know,
Yeah.
you say something stupid, then you go, go die lah you. Now that go die lah you, it's fun. It's a passing remark. But when it comes into text, and people type, better you go die. Baik engkau pergi mati je lah.
Yeah.
It goes in and it doesn't come out.
Yeah. It does.
Especially when they're being bashed by one or two person, and this final text comes in, and you never know, you might be the contributor of someone taking on their own life. And I mean, if you can live with yourself, go ahead. And you know, if that's what you want to be recorded as, you know, being like an accessory to someone's death, but don't do that. You know, you really got to watch your mouth. It's a two-way. One has to be careful about what they say, and as much as you want to be funny, or you want to, you know, be cheeky, avoid using those really harsh words. And on the other side, the one who's listening, just ignore these people, please. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, definitely. So if any of our listeners, if you have if you're actually undergoing it, and you just want to listen to someone, you can always catch one of our episodes on our podcast regarding depression, and then we had one with Dr. Lavanya on the LGBTQ with the LGBTQ community. Or you can even listen to the one with Adam. He's a very, very fun dude.
Correct. And actually, some of our other podcasts, like when we talk about handling failure, this is part and parcel of it. You know, when someone talks down about you and you feel that you're a bit of a failure, don't worry about it. You know, everyone goes through it, and it's just part and parcel of life. But you gotta pick yourself up, be stronger than who you are yesterday, and be better than who you are tomorrow. So, I think with that, we're gonna sign off. And if you guys have something that you want to comment, or you feel you want to voice out, you can actually just, you know, drop us a line in our Facebook, just DM us. And if it can be a topic, we don't mention your name, but we can actually expand on it. If not, we can point whoever that's useful in your direction, or tell you where to go. If it helps, why not?
True.
Yeah, but don't call us directly.
Yeah, don't text me. Don't text me. I'll probably ignore your text.
Yeah, it's not because he doesn't like you, but he could be very busy. He ignores my text. I ignore his text.
We ignore one another's text all the time.
Yeah. So this is it. So we're gonna sign off tonight. This is me, Dr. Ellie, and
I'm Dr. Inky.
You are listening in to the Two Dogs.
Two Dogs. Okay.
Bye.